Going on, everybody? This your boy Dmon. This my boy Drizzy representing the SMA Productions. So today we doing a little something different. Y'all usually see us in our TV show capping. Y'all see us doing the skits. Y'all see us promoting out we got our merch on. Y'all see us doing other stuff, all different other ventures. But today, this is going to be our first episode of Conversations with Dmon and Drizzy. So we trying out something new. What we're gonna be doing is talking about the topic today. We're gonna be talking about is building a team. So what we're gonna do, like we just want to see how this gonna play out, how it's gonna resonate with the people out there. Cause we've been cause when I posted this status and I was saying that we was gonna do the first episode, we was filming it today. It got a pretty good feedback. So we just trying to see, we're going to put this episode out and see how it do. So I'm pretty excited. We're going to dive in today talking about how to build a team. And we want to see how we're going to be talking about building a team. What's the importance of building a team? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about building a team. So I'm pretty sure anybody out there that's built the team, y'all probably think like, okay, well, building a team, is easy. I got people around me that's gonna support me, and you got your friends around you. You think that they got the same vision as you, so you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw them on my. We just gonna build a team, and we gonna make it. But you have to understand, and I done had to learn this the hard way. When building a team, you got to know structure. You got to know who's around you. You got to know is they willing to put the same work in as you. Think about it like this. Okay, so if you putting in 12 hours, if y'all ready to shoot a movie, say if you put in 12 hours, but they only want to put in 6 hours, ask yourself, do you really want to have this person on your team? I don't think you want them on your team because they just want to do half of the work while you want to put in the full time of the work. So that's why I say structure is important, knowing who you got around you. Just because y'all cool and y'all talk about the same things y'all want to do, y'all may not have the same vision. So I feel like, first thing is structure, knowing, who around you and knowing, what weapons you got. I mean, how you feel?
I agree. You gotta choose the ones you want on your team wisely because you gotta trust them. You gotta trust them. We gotta motivate each other if we're on the same team. So I believe if you pick the right people, you can take you far. But.
And what's so crazy is, well, it ain't crazy. I just seen JD. He was on a podcast and he was just talking about Drake and he was talking about all the rappers, all the well-known rappers like the Drakes and the Kendrick Lamars, and he was just saying you got to think about it. These people, they didn't Drake and Kendrick, they didn't do this all by themselves. They had a team, and you go out here thinking you're gonna become a rapper. Of course you're not gonna do it overnight, but you can't do. You may think you can do everything by yourself, but you can't. You need a team. You need a team behind you, because like JD was saying, you go out there and try to do all this by yourself. You gonna get it's not gonna work out.
Go downhill.
Yeah, it's gonna go downhill. So, at the end of the day, you gotta think smart. When you get into the entertainment business, because like they say, it's not for everybody. And I feel like everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody need a team. Right. And like I said, we talking about structure. If you can. I started, and you already know, bro. What I didn't been through. Where building when I was doing the music. I didn't help people, and you may help people, and then they still dog you out, no matter how much you're doing for them. And I have
talking behind your back.
Yeah, they talking behind your back. And when you the one bringing in, you one bringing in all the connections, like you doing everything by yourself, like. What are y'all doing? Y'all ain't doing nothing, because if it weren't for me, nothing would be happening. So all that started getting back to me. So I'm like, okay, but y'all have to understand, I'm helping y'all. I'm not the artist. So if I'm selling more tickets than y'all, and it's not my show. That just not. That don't make no sense. That's like a producer should never outsell an artist. That should never happen. So, I didn't been through it. With trying to build a team with people. I had to learn. You can't. And what was funny, a person. I'm not gonna drop name dropping out like that, but a guy that I was working with back in 2017, he told me, he said, think about it, like he said, you need to get some people that you're not so close with. And now I see what he meant, bro. Like, cause if you so close to somebody, it's not always good to go into business with them. Cause think about it like this, y'all so close to each other. Then if y'all clash trying to do business, that's gonna mess up y'all relationship.
The friendship.
Yeah, because emotions gonna get involved. Emotions gonna be at an all-time high. So that's also why it's not really good to try to do business with close friends and family. And like I said, I done been through that, and now I see it's not the best. It's not the smartest move, bro. Now, like I say, when also building a team, you also have to look at, like I say, we got to start with structure. You also have to look at most people. This is what you should start splitting up. It come to marketing and it come to finances. As we all know, it's gonna take money to make money. So think about it like this. You gotta have, of course, like you gotta have your finances together, and your marketing has to be on point. So what y'all should all do, whoever you want to be on your team, everybody trying to do one job, it shouldn't be like that. Y'all need to sit down, find out who good at what. Okay, yeah. This person good at marketing. This person pretty good at money management. So I feel like y'all need to all sit down and y'all need to figure out like who gonna do what. That's what building the team is. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They don't have, like I said, they don't have that structure. Then a lot of them don't even want to spend over $20. Well, if you don't want to spend over $20, how far do you expect to get?
Not far at all.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got most cats don't even want to. You don't want to invest into your own career, but when a big time star come here, y'all go spend all this money on a concert ticket, but y'all can't invest into your own career, and it just be like, bro, our generation is so backwards, bro, and that's why most, y'all wonder why y'all struggling, But like I say, it's not for everybody, everybody think the entertainment business is easy, and it's not, it ain't. And I'm not gonna say, yeah, these are the steps you take, but it's not easy building a team, because it also starts with trust. You can't trust that person. Am I gonna trust you? Am I gonna trust you with any type of money? Am I gonna trust you to do anything? So it also starts with building with trust. And why do you think you see a lot of groups in the industry don't last? Because I feel like the chemistry not there. You don't have chemistry with that person. How far you think y'all gonna get? Then egos get in the way, and that's another thing about me and you, bro. We've been rocking. I've been knowing you since 2013. We didn't know we was gonna be. We didn't know we was gonna. Yeah, we didn't know we was gonna be trying to do business together, bro.
Right.
And like you say, we don't clash over little petty stuff, bro, because that's where that chemistry come in at. And I feel like a lot of people don't have that. They don't know how to build with each other. Go out and build in relationships. That's important too. When building a team, also have somebody on your team. It ain't all about. You don't always have to spend money. It ain't always about spending money neither. Go build in relationships. Go out there and network. Go grow with people. If you see an event coming to, like, you see like a upcoming event that's in your that's something that you're interested in, go out there and network with them people and tell them who you are, tell them what you do. And you don't know who they know. You don't know who they connected to, bro.
A lot of doors can open like that. You just go network with people, venture off. Like, don't just stay in one spot. Venture everywhere. Go different places around the world. You can meet a lot of good people like that. So,
And then, like you also gotta think. You gotta think about too, bro. A lot of people, when we say they don't want to spend money, you can't. A lot of people had a lot of people out here, some people had, overnight success, but ask yourself, do you really want overnight success, or do you really want to get it out the mud?
Like that reference from a microwave rapper, like
Yeah,
overnight,
yeah,
ain't
bro.
gonna last long.
It's
So
not.
you gotta work
I'd
hard
rather get
for it.
mine out the mud, bro. I'd rather get it out the mud because I feel like, I earned it. Then versus me knowing somebody versus that's just like that's just like when we was in high school. Most people talk about the basketball team had favoritism, or but then you look at most cats on there, or either their dad was a coach or they knew somebody. I don't want to get on the team because I know somebody. I want to get on the team because I got the talent.
Work hard.
Yeah, work hard. So, like I say, we got to utilize our resources and, like I said, utilize what's around you, but also earn it at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But like I say, building a team, everybody need a team, whether you want to admit that or not. Building a team is important. And I feel like I said, marketing, three things we just named. The first thing was structure. You gotta have that structure. You gotta know the structure around you, because if you don't, you're gonna fail. And
Business plan. You need a business plan, man. It's like a map. You just gotta follow it. Open doors for you.
and like I said, we just said finances, and then we just said marketing. Them are two important things. Now, I didn't know when I got graduated from high school in 2013. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself. But if I would have known I would have been doing everything that I'm doing now, I would have took a real marketing class, bro. Because I feel like I would have been further into the marketing. I would have knew a lot about marketing.
You did it earlier.
Yeah, bro.
Me too.
Yeah, bro. So, hey, I want to ask you something, and this about business, bro. So, I know you went to the Nelly EI for a little bit. Talk about talk about some of the people you met. What do you think? Do you think some of the people you met at the Nelly EI? Do you think that if you would have been more serious at that time, that you really could have got off into the music like you wanted to?
Yeah, man. When I went to EI by Nelly. I think I should have took it more seriously because I let outside stuff like personal stuff or like girlfriend stuff uh, made me lose focus on what my goal was there. Learn about the music business stuff. Even though I did learn about the music business, but I should have been more focused. I met a lot of good people there. Like the teacher was good. Most of those teachers worked with like people like Usher, Ludacris and stuff. So I should have took advantage of that moment instead of just being there. But I still learned a lot, but if I would have really focused, I don't know where I would be if I took it serious and stuff.
I mean, bro, we all make mistakes. We all learn from as long as you learn from your mistakes, bro. But I also feel like too, you know, building a team, building a team is also like I said. Don't think just because a person may mean you good, you may think that they may mean good, but once y'all start working and once y'all start getting into like the real work, that's when you really gonna see who willing to be around you and who's not willing to be around you. And I feel like in the past where I lacked that with when I was trying to build a team, like you just said, bro, I didn't have no real business plan. I didn't have nothing written down on how we gonna do this and how we gonna do that. So
Right.
I feel like we were just doing stuff, we were just trying stuff, but we didn't really have no plan.
We didn't follow through with it. We just
Exactly.
did
Yeah,
everything.
bro. I feel like we didn't have no real plan, and I feel like that's what really hurt us too. Then another thing, like we talking about finances, if you the only one out your crew wanting to spend money, you got to ask yourself like, what am I doing? And a lot of times lot of times they say a team may be holding you back. That could be true, but I don't care how you put it, bro. Nobody can do nothing by themselves, bro. I don't. Nobody, bro. Any entertainer out here, from a rapper to an actor to anybody,
It takes a team.
yeah,
For
they're
sure.
not doing nothing by themselves, bro. I guarantee you, they not.
Maybe they is, but you with a team, it's better with a team. You count on each other and stuff. But
And the number one thing, when I told you the situation I was in back in the day, the number one thing before structure, the number one thing you also got to think about is communication. If y'all are not communicating with each other like every day, saying y'all really want this, if y'all really want this, if y'all not really showing y'all hungry, y'all not talking to each other, how is it gonna happen? Because communication is the biggest key. If we not communicating with each other, then we got nothing.
people just showing up when they want to.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works, bro. Because if we supposed to be a team, we have to communicate. That's what a group chat is for. That's where you can build. Y'all can talk on Zoom. Y'all can build a Facebook Messenger group. So communication is the key when you're trying to build a team, man. If we don't have communication, there ain't no way we going anywhere because we just gonna fail. That's just like not having no structure. So I feel like I take that back. I feel like communication is first, structure, then you start getting into, like the marketing and then the finances. All the four things I just named, them are definitely important when building a team. Now, what's something you wish you would have did different back in the day, like going back, how I said I wish I would have took a marketing class. What's something you probably wish you would have did different? Not knowing what you would have been doing now. What we doing?
Like you said, marketing a business class, learn a business. So I could do like an elevator pitch. So I could learn more about the business I want to do. When I was young, I wasn't really taking it serious. I was slick. I wasn't taking it serious. Oh, that we all wasn't taking it serious for
Nah, we weren't,
going
bro.
like parties and stuff,
Nah.
hanging out late and stuff. I wish I could have took a class, like really focused.
And then when the communication comes back in, that say if you got females, whatever you got on your team, if we got kids, if they got kids or they got something going on at home, communication is the key because if you're going through something, we just had a situation that just recently happened. If you're going through something, I would rather, you tell the team, a couple of days in advance. Don't wait till the day we got something planned, whether it's filming or whether we got something important. Don't wait till the day of the council because that's just showing that's very unprofessional. And think about if we had a big meeting with a big executive producer, anything. So you're a council, you're a council. When we got something big going on a day like that,
We ain't gonna get another shot,
nah, we not, bro.
That messed the whole thing up.
Nah, so that's why I say structure, knowing who around you. Yeah, we all go through stuff, but you also got to make sacrifices too. And what inspired me to get this going, man, I went and made a Facebook post and I was just talking about building a team. And, one main thing I said is what you put in is what you get out. When you got somebody when you got somebody on your team and they complaining about, oh, we ain't making no money. Okay, so we're not making no money, but ask yourself this: are you doing anything to help us get to the money? Like, are you helping with marketing? Are you helping us? Or are you helping your team to get to that next level? So you shouldn't have nothing to say about we not getting paid to do nothing because nobody's gonna pay you, bro. Nobody's gonna give you nothing. You have to earn it. And until you earn it, you're just gonna stay stuck. You're gonna be stuck in the box. You gotta get out here. You gotta move around. You can't stay local. So and then I heard this a lot. Believe it or not, ain't no support here at 618. You know, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's good to build a good little fan base here, but you know, you got to go places like Atlanta. You got to go. You got to go places like Miami. You got to move around. You know, that's why I like to travel. That's why I like to get out here and meet people. You know, you don't know who you may run into. You know, we was just back in April. We was just in Atlanta. Then we didn't. They recognized us for doing skits. They was like, "We see y'all on YouTube." So you don't know who watching you, bro. And
different vibes.
and that's why I say knowing the structure of your team. That's why all y'all have to move accordingly and watch what y'all doing because you don't know who watching. Anybody can be watching at any given time. Whether it's on Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, anybody, you don't know who watching you, bro.
Give you an opportunity. People like Tyler Perry, you know, you like to act or do plays, you know. You don't know who watching.
And the fact, you know, we got our hands in a lot, bro. We got our hands in the music. We got our hands in the film. We got our hand in the clothes. And we got our hands into skits. We're doing a lot, bro. So that's always, that's a good thing. We're a jack of all trades, you know. Not too many people can say that they doing that, you know.
Got a lot of hats.
Yeah, we wearing a lot of hats, bro. And it's all about being professional. It's all about how you represent yourself, you know. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that, like, when you building a team, never forget where you came from. But at the same time, you know, always remember, you know, you want to get in them rooms with them big people. You know, you have to make sacrifices. You know, you can't be the same all your life. You know, staying out late, you got to change. You got to change your ways. You got to change some of the. Yeah, you got to change some of the stuff that you do. Master P, he done said this many a times. You got to change if you got to leave your friends alone. If you chasing a dream, chasing a goal, it's just stuff that you have to cut out. And if your friends or your family can't understand that, then, you know, you don't need them. They don't need to be in your life.
Right, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And the generation that we live in, bro, it's sad, but it's like, it's all about jumping on the wave. When they see something that's popular, that's when they gonna tune in. A lot of people on your team, if you are building a team, a lot of people may get discouraged about, oh, we're not getting the right amount of views. Oh, don't nobody know us right now. I always remember, bro, everybody out there had to start somewhere. I don't care. Like Tyler Perry, yeah, slept in his car, bro. Yeah. Look at Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. Like all these people had to start somewhere. So that's why be humble. Always be humble. Humble yourself because, like I said, I'm not saying never forget where you came from, but you do also have to make, you know, you do have to make certain sacrifices if you want to get certain places in your life, bro. You know, that's just what it is. And I'm gonna say building the team, like I say, with also building the team. You know, not everybody, like they said, if everybody did the same thing, it would be a boring world. Now, you know, everybody got their own way. Like they may like to smoke weed. You know, it helps them function better. You know, personally, me, I don't need to smoke weed or drink to do anything, bro. Yeah, I don't need to be high to do nothing. You know, I can focus natural and, you know, still get the job done. You know, you shouldn't need. To me, you know, if you need weed and you need alcohol to function, that is a problem with me. You know, you shouldn't need that. You should. God blessed us all with something, and you know, he blessed us with, like he blessed us with a born given talent to act. You know, now you see we got our own TV show, and you never know. Pretty soon we may have some on Tubi.
You never know, man.
You got to dream. You got to dream big, bro. Yeah, bro. So what's one? When you say, when we talk about building a team, what's the team we got around us right now? What's one goal you want to see us accomplish?
Say one goal.
One goal that you want to see us accomplish that you just want us to accomplish. You know, it ain't even got to be next year. It can be the next 5 years.
Shit, like you said, we all make it.
Yeah.
We all make it, any financially and spiritually, anything, man. We all make it somehow together because we came up together. Yeah.
And I honestly love the team we got. Shout out, by the way, shout out to Chef, shout out to Jasmine, shout out to Donna, shout out to the team. You know, honestly, want to see out the goal I got for us. Yeah, I want to see us, make it to that next level. And I just want us, I just want us all to keep being loyal to each other. That's the goal. Because,
Communication,
yeah,
too, bro.
communication, bro. I want us to all keep communicating with each other, keep being loyal, because without communication and loyalty, you don't have no team. And times gonna get hard. Mental health is big. People go through certain things. I'm just throwing mental health out there, but whatever it is you're going through, communicate. Let the team know. Oh, I may need to take some time off. I may need to step back. I may need to step back for a minute. I may need to take a break. Communication is the key. Like I said, without communication, we can't build no team. We can't build nothing.
And because everybody go through stuff, man. Everybody got their own journeys they're going through. It's probably worse than others, And you be like, oh, I could be in that situation, but you're not. You do a little bit better than the other person. But you gotta think about everybody go through stuff, So yeah.
And then too, bro, like I say, you're not going when you're also trying to build a team. Like I said earlier, find out what everybody is good at. If y'all put out a project. And because a lot of people have told me over the years, like, dang, Darmon, you good with, getting in touch with people. You good at setting up meetings. You good at, promoting. So I know that's one of my strongest points. So I know that
network.
Yeah.
Good network.
Yeah. I'm good at, like I said, I can set the meetings up. I can make sure everybody make it on time. A lot of people have told me that's something that I'm really good at. I said it's nothing to it. Communicate with each other, and y'all will get from point A to point B. If we don't communicate, then we not gonna get nowhere. That's just simple as that. I just like I said, I hate showing up late. It's not a good look. I hate being unorganized. I don't like none of that, bro. So when dealing with people that's unorganized, and especially when they done it more than one time, it just gets so frustrating, because it's like, do you really do? Would you be doing this if you was getting, right now we not making no money how we want to, but would you be doing this if you was getting paid, if you work for a big corporation? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be showing up late. You wouldn't be showing up late every day.
They're early as a mud.
Yeah. That's just like working a 9 to 5. I'm pretty sure they not gonna let you show up late when you want to. And unless you a boss or CEO, a boss or CEO, I'm not saying they can show up late, but when they, then they can do stuff like that because they the boss. They can show up whenever they want to. They're a boss. Whether it's running a 9 to 5 or whether it's being your own entrepreneur, you work for yourself. Well, I would say more working for yourself. Working from home. You ain't got to clock into no job, but versus 9 to 5, if you got a big boss or whatever, then they can, show up when they want to show up. They don't have to do what a regular employee do anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, knowing communication is everything, and, the structure, your finances, your marketing, then, think about all that. All that comes into play when building a team. Nobody, and not letting egos get in the way. You know how many people when I heard them trying to build a team, you're gonna have somebody, I guarantee you, bro, you're gonna have somebody out the crew that's got an ego. I mean, what is you dealing with just 5 people? I guarantee you one person is probably gonna have an ego.
I mean, shoot, like 2 or 3 people have egos.
But I mean, what? But what do you have an ego for? You haven't made it nowhere. None of us, bro. None of us are nobody. You know,
We're all
not
humans, right? We came
yeah.
from,
Yeah, none of us are nobody. We all trying to make it somewhere, you know, where we trying to get somewhere where we can all take better care of our family, bro. That's all that we trying to do. So having an ego, think you better than the next person, you know, that's not a good attitude because what I learned, bro, is the quickest you become up, you know, you take off like a rocket, the quicker you can come back down. You can lose everything that you gain. So that's why I'm gonna always remain humble. I don't care if I get $1 billion tomorrow. I'm gonna remain the same person. You know, I'm not gonna mistreat nobody. I'm always be myself. And you know, when people ask the question, do you want to be loved or do you want to be feared? I want to be loved because I don't want nobody to fear me. I'm not a bad person. I want, you know, I'm gonna treat everybody the same. And it's the same energy that you give me, I'm gonna get the same energy you give me. I'm gonna get the same energy back to you. You know, likewise, bro. But yeah, bro. I feel like that respect, that loyalty amongst y'all is important because if we can't respect each other, then we cannot work together because if the respect not there, then you know, ain't no way we gonna build no team. So I feel like the team that we got now, we all got respect for each other. You know, we may joke, and we may play around, but you know, we know when it's time to we know when it's time to do business. You know, we know that we got to show up and we got to show out.
But even though we're not perfect, though, even though we got to work on communication still, like, but we still have a solid team, for sure. Yeah.
Now, another thing when it comes to building a team, you know, how we say people showing up late. So I think when you see one of your team members are getting out of hand and you know something keeps repeatedly happening over and over, call a meeting. Call a meeting and be like, I don't like what you're doing. You know, what can we do to fix it? Let's sit down. Let's sit down and have a meeting. You know, don't just put this person on the spot. Oh, I don't like how you do this. I don't like how you do that. No, it's a way, like they say, it's a way you talk to people. It's a way you come at people because think of it likewise. Would you want somebody attacking you? Would you want somebody, you know, to come at you sideways because of something you doing? And like we said, bro, we don't know what people are going through. You know, people may be going through stuff at home, but like I say once again, that's when communication comes in. If you're going through something, feel free to let the team know I need to take time off. I need to take a step back because if you hiding everything, keeping it to yourself, then you know it's not good for you and it's not good for your team.
Not good for your health, too.
Not yeah, your health too.
Yeah.
You know, your blood pressure and stuff. You know, then high blood pressure can cause a stroke. So you have to think about stuff. You know, you have to think about stuff like that too. And you didn't see how I work, bro. You know, I don't just easily get mad, but if you just doing stuff and you constantly we already talk to you, then you just keep doing it. Now at that point, that's now you just trying to do it on purpose, and it's like, do you really want to be a part of this team, or you just really what are you here for? Not now we done had to talk about it, and you still we still seeing the same results.
A leech, cloud chasing.
Then another thing, you know, when building the team, you know, like they say, they say you are who you be around. If you got a homie and he hang around people that's no good, and you know he turned out that way. He ended up turning out that way. Then he started picking up bad habits. Then stuff that he wasn't doing before. You know, I'm not gonna dismiss him. I'm gonna like talk to him. Maybe we gotta talk one on one. Maybe say if he was closer to me, he may feel more comfortable talking to me. I'm gonna pull him aside and be like, you know, what's the problem? Like, what's going on? So I'm not just gonna attack him in front of everybody. That ain't how you doing it. That's not how you do it. And if he don't feel comfortable talking about it, don't force him. Maybe at that time he ain't ready to talk about it just right then and there. Maybe when he's ready to talk about it, he or she'll come to you and they'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be vulnerable too, though.
And don't judge. Don't judge nobody because if you want somebody to judge you, you know, you got to be open to hearing them out. You know what I'm saying. And at the end of the day, like you said, we all go through stuff, and somebody could be really dealing with something off camera that we don't know nothing about. Whether it's a death, whether it's mental illness, whatever it is, it can be serious. And like I say, if you come to me and say like I need to take a step back because this ain't what I'm not in the right headspace. I respect that. I would respect that because you don't want to try to build something and you don't want to be trying to work and you're not in the right headspace. Now I know earlier I said that you have to make sacrifices, but don't ever force yourself to do nothing because all you're gonna want to do is quit. That's all. That's all it's really gonna make you want to do.
Depending on what that sacrifice is too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be doing anything and just then you gonna go somewhere and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I just think the main thing about building a team is knowing like the communication, your structure, knowing who you have around you. Of course, we're not good at everything. Every person may not be good at marketing. Finding somebody who's good at marketing, then we all gotta want to spend money in order to make money. And like I say, just knowing who you're around is important. You might not want to admit that, but you need a team. Though that's how I feel about it. You know, Everybody don't want to admit that. Oh, I can do this by myself. I can do that by myself. But it's nothing wrong with having help. Nothing wrong with getting help with nothing, because everybody needs someone with help in their life. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You may think I can do everything by myself. But I feel like working together as a team. I like that idea more. I like that. If teamwork makes the dream work, and then because in the end, what we put in, like I said earlier, what we put in is what we gonna get out. So we know that if we working hard, grinding, eventually we putting in hard work, so we gonna get good results. So we gonna all end up we gonna eat together. That's what the outcome gonna be.
Yeah.
So like I said, when it comes to building the team, you want to play chess, not checkers, and you want to have like-minded individuals around you. Now, sadly, like I said earlier, we all may not have the same vision, and I would rather you be honest before we get deep into it, and before you start wanting to do other stuff. Be honest and be like, I support y'all, but this ain't my dream. This ain't something I want to do. Don't just be out here doing something you're not really into doing, and like we forcing you to do it, and it's nothing like that. And then like me, you, and the team always talk about. A lot of people, look at like, oh, they not paying me, so I'm gonna show up late when I want to. I'm gonna do whatever I want to. But what happened to working? What happened to building the foundation? What happened to building that foundation, and then eventually we're gonna see the money. It may take 5 years, it may take long, but long as we building the foundation, and that goes back to me. That goes back to saying your small wins count too, bro.
The funny thing, bro, I do this for free. But of course, you want to get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously you want to get paid. But if this is your passion, bro, why not just keep going? I feel.
But we gonna wrap it up with this though. The advice I would this is what I would say. The advice I would give to anybody out there, if you're trying to build a team, or if you trying to do, if you're trying to do anything with building a team, communication is number one. The structure around you is number two. Knowing who you have around you, and knowing that we gonna have to market ourselves. Number three. Number four, your finances, and it's just all them things I just named. Them are all important when building the team. So like I said, knowing that we all gonna work together, that we all gonna get the job done together. That should be your main focus, and then not letting nobody get in the way with the ego. That's the advice I would give everybody out there. Follow those steps. If you follow them steps, all the steps we talked about today, if you follow those steps, then I really think you would get somewhere with building a team. It ain't gonna be hard. You're not gonna get everything is gonna take work. Not nothing is gonna happen overnight. But as long as you understand the important steps we talked about today, then you should be okay. With building a team. You should have no issues. Just follow those steps we talked about today.
Yeah, just pick the right people. Pick the right people,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be on the same page. Everything gonna flow smooth.
If you see any red, and I would say if you see any red flags and they don't have your vision, get away from them. Get far away from them. If they constantly bring a negativity to the table, they always got something going on. Get away from them. If you see red flags early, that right there goes back to structure, knowing who you got around you. I wouldn't have them on my team, and that's what I would. That's my advice out there to anybody trying to build a team. Everything we talked about is important. So at the end of the day, stay focused. Keep grinding. What you get in, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. So as long as you keep everything in mind we talked about today, you should be good with building a team. And that's how we're gonna close it out today. This your boy Dmon, my boy Drizzy. Then this is Conversations with Dmon and Drizzy, and we'll be back with more.
Stay motivated.
Stay motivated.